All right. Happy Monday, everyone. What a weekend it was. Welcome to A Soccer Fan Walks Into a Bar, our live stream of the show. If you are listening on Spotify and or Apple Podcasts or YouTube, you will be listening to this at the earliest Tuesday morning. But Nas, how we doing? How was the weekend for you?
I mean, I was here pretty much the whole weekend.
I saw a lot of you this weekend.
Yes.
Incredible watch parties we had, both upstairs in the tap room and live on Twitch. Some absolute bangers of matches, including two local teams for us here. And plenty of drama, plenty of action in those. We will talk about them, but outside of soccer, how was the weekend?
It was good. It was good. Spent time with the family. Found out my 15-year-old made the varsity cheerleading team.
Oh, nice.
So
Congratulations.
She's super ecstatic about that.
Congrats. All right, we do have plenty to talk about, so let's get right into it. We are going to start with our week abroad, coverage of mostly English, but pretty much as much European and or South American soccer at times as we can. But we'll jump right into the Premier League. Lots of action there, some surprising results. I mean,
I felt like it was a weekend full of surprises. Like,
the whole I didn't think much of this weekend rolling out of the international break, and I was surprised match after match.
I feel like top of the table switched places with the bottom of the table. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, it was wild. So the first match we'll bring up. We had a glut of I believe they were all 10 a.m. kickoffs on Saturday.
Yes.
Liverpool hosting Nottingham Forest. Liverpool 0, Forest 3.
Yeah.
And I'm in disbelief with just when we think Liverpool is starting to gain some momentum.
I mean, it could have been more.
I know.
From Forest. There was one that was called back for, hitting the upper portion and called a handball. Like, it could have been 4-0.
I can't believe what is happening. And again, we have to ask the question. We talked about it briefly last week. Does Arne Slot make it to the new year?
I don't know. I mean, how far does that championship get him? I mean, that's the thing. So he's only been here a year.
Yeah, I mean, the way I look at it, or the way I could see people look at it is, really was that Jurgen Klopp's title.
Yeah.
He constructed that squad. He put all the prep work into that, and Arne Slot just took them through the year. Even last year there were talks about that.
Yeah.
Where it was just plug and play, and he kind of put his little spin on Klopp's squad. Now that Arne Slot is starting to get quote unquote his guys, look what happens. I don't know. But,
I don't know. I don't put it.
It does beg the question. At the very least.
I can't put it on him. Where are the players he bought? Why is Wirtz not playing to his capability? Why is Isak not playing to his capability? We know these players can play.
But
we know Isak's been proven. But he's proven himself in the Premier League.
Okay,
it's not like you left leagues. You are in the same league.
So what is the issue then? I mean, what's the common denominator of both of those players?
The players working together. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. You tell me, why isn't Salah playing to his capability?
Well, yeah, I think, and I said this probably a month and a half ago. I think Salah is the odd man out, and he needs to be the one coming off the bench. Mm-hmm. That remains to be seen as well. I was
if this was year 3, then I would say okay, cool. But he just came off of I don't know.
I was also on record in regards to the Isak signing, where they already had it was a long drawn out saga. In between that, they had already gotten Ekitike in. I don't think they needed Isak anymore at that point, and they just kept offering more and more and more for him, and it was, to me, much of the square peg in the round hole situation. I'm surprised they did it. I don't know why. I really don't think it was a necessary thing, but here we are, and we have the squad that we have. I will would very much so like to see what, if anything, they try to do in the winter window.
Yeah.
After spending, I think, £350 million, they currently now sit in 12th place,
Yep.
level on points with city rival Everton.
6 wins, 6 losses,
Yeah.
no draws.
Yeah. And hard done Bournemouth, who faced them on that opening match and almost pulled out that draw and wound up losing 4-2. But yeah, Liverpool has got to look at themselves in the mirror.
Well, I mean,
and figure it
Liverpool's
out.
also Arsenal's only loss. Like, what happened?
No,
where-
that was
again. I said
That
after
was
the
that
first 6
opening
weeks,
run.
there was cracks being shown.
Yep.
I think they came out guns blazing, tried to do what they can do, and then everybody else kind of came off the hangover of new season. You know?
No, you're not wrong there. All right, let's move over. Bournemouth hosted West Ham on the weekend. Despite going down 2-0 in the first half on the only 2 shots on target that West Ham had, a late onslaught by Bournemouth brought things level to 2-2. I thought that they were going to get that third and maybe even a fourth. They were absolutely pummeling the West Ham defense.
I think-
Alphonse Areola played out of his mind in goal for West Ham.
I think the issue is that it was Bournemouth's to essentially lose. Like they gave up 2 goals again on 2 attempts from West Ham. That should not have been.
And they were not great. I'm just seeing if I think I saw somewhere. 76.2% possession.
Yeah.
Georgi Petrovic did not make a save. And I gotta see where it was. Somewhere I saw, again, we're not big XG guys, but I think Bournemouth had a 4.9 or 5 XG, expected goals. See if I can bring it up here real quick somewhere. This one might have it. No. Well, either way, it was an absolutely dominating performance from Bournemouth in the second half. But again, the only thing that matters is putting the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah.
Marcus Tavernier with a penalty, and then Enes Ünal, the Turkish international, coming back from injury. Good to see him getting on the score sheet. You could tell the whole team kind of got behind him on that as well. So a tough result, but a good comeback, and you do need to be able to take those positives out of a match like this. If you are mid-table, the fact that you came back and at least got the point instead of taking the loss certainly shows something there. How about our other supporters club in the 10 o'clock window? Brighton, where are they? They went to...
They're currently in 6th place.
Yeah, I'm just looking for the actual result. They hosted. That's not the right weekend. Where am I here?
Brentford. It was Brighton, Brentford.
Yes, they hosted Brentford, and another
They gave up an early goal
from behind for them. Goals from, I believe, Danny Welbeck and a penalty.
Yeah,
from,
a well placed volley goal from Welbeck.
Yeah, it was it was poor, in my opinion. Oh no, Igor Thiago from Brentford had the penalty.
Yeah.
Danny Welbeck scored in the 71st on a poor defended but incredible volley.
No.
Hinchelwood scored in the 84th minute. Brentford also missed a penalty late in the second half as well. And again, 67% possession for Brighton.
Yeah.
Great result for them to get back in contention for Europe. They're in 6th place now. Again, it's still very tight. At the top of the table, Liverpool, as much as we just said about Liverpool, they are in 12th place, but they're only, I believe, 5 points back from second. So it's absolutely wild what we've had in the last kind of 4 months in terms of the table. The next one, Newcastle. There we are with Newcastle United. They hosted Manchester City.
Correct.
And Nas and most of Arsenal was a Newcastle fan for the day. And you got your wish. 2 goals from, why can't I think of his name now? Is it Harry? Harvey Barnes.
Harvey Barnes.
2 goals, and all 3 goals were within 6 minutes of one another. Harvey Barnes in the 64th, Ruben Diaz in the 68th, and then Barnes again in the 70th minute. And
just a dominating display from City, but they just couldn't crack.
That's always
they just couldn't crack.
That's always been the case for them. Dominate possession, put them on the front foot, but can you get it done? Excuse me. what a long weekend. I'm shot. So yeah, it's another struggle for Man City. I mean, they're still in third place, only 1 point back from second, still only 7 points back of Arsenal. So, nothing is insurmountable, especially when it comes to, Erling Haaland and Man City. But that one will certainly, be a result that I think Manchester City will come to regret as the season wears on. We have some derby days, including the North London Derby. You were in a movie theater for this, so you
Yes.
did not catch any of it.
Nope.
When we did our predictions, many people thought it was going to be a tight match. Mm-hmm. Although I did not get the score right or a goal scorer, excuse me, I thought Arsenal was going to take it to Tottenham, and I was proven right. A 4-1 final result with a hat trick from Eberici as after a Leandro Trossard goal in the first half. Richarlison did pull one back for Spurs. One of their only 2 shots on target, only 3 shots total. So Arsenal doing Arsenal things once again.
Yeah. The Richarlison goal was more of a sloppy defending than anything. Yeah. Zubamendi gives the ball away. Raya's way too far out, and then Richarlison for the second time in a year has put a goal over Raya due to him being out.
Yeah. It was a very nice finish. I have to give Richarlison credit for that. But yeah, the Gunners train keeps on chugging along here. We are starting to get into the realm of the season where this is looking more and more realistic.
Well, again, I told you, these next 3 games, which is now 2 games, is going to tell me the rest of the season, right? We have
Bayern
next.
Yep.
And then we have, once again, for probably the 5th time this season,
I think it was
first place versus second place.
I think it is the 4th time.
First place versus second place. Arsenal, now Chelsea in second place. So Arsenal has continued to play against the top teams, which is funny because now the top teams that they have beaten are no longer in the top.
But that is the while they make for tough matches. It also becomes an even bigger way to kind of open that gap in terms of a Premier League lead. Yeah,
if they if we beat Chelsea again, that puts us 9 points ahead.
Yeah. All right, and the dessert, we'll put it, of the Premier League weekend. I was just watching it right here in the studio before we came live. Manchester United hosting Everton. They had some interesting stats prior to the match. I believe before the match they said Everton has not beaten Manchester United since December of 2013.
Yep.
The manager of Man United at that time, David Moyes, who's the current Everton manager. It's I think they hadn't won in 33 matches at Old Trafford.
Yep.
And it looked bad from the beginning for Everton. A 13th minute red card.
I would love to see the stats on how many games a same player has punched someone in the face and the team goes on to win the game.
Won. So Idrissa guy got a 13th minute red card for striking the face.
Yep.
Striking a player in the face.
Now the
player was his teammate.
Correct. The funny thing is, the rule specifically states, and they verbatim it. The rule specifically states striking an opponent in the face.
I have seen before though where this has been the scenario, and I honestly I agree with it. To me, it shouldn't matter what team you're doing it against, or whether it's an official or a fan. You hit someone in the face during the match, you're off.
Yep.
And I'm fine with it. And then I don't know if you were watching. When I was watching, Jordan Pickford and 1 or 2 other Everton teammates had to pull him off, and basically shove him down the tunnel to get him off the field. And much to Everton's credit, they kept on moving. They forged this 10-man Everton team, and a wonderful goal in the 29th minute from Dewsbury Hall. was the only shot on target that Everton had. It was the only shot on target that Everton needed. And despite being a man down for 77 minutes, Everton takes all 3 points to go level with Manchester United, with Liverpool.
Yep.
Who else are they level with? And Tottenham. So, it's funny to see those 4 teams right dead center in the middle of the table, because in any other year, in the last 20, 30 years, that could have been the top 4. And it's 9th through 12th right now. So very interesting from that standpoint. And we'll see, what this does to. This is also the anniversary of Ruben Amorim's first match in charge. It was a draw, I believe, against Ipswich. So a lot of kind of memorable things there. Some for the good, some not so good. So let's move elsewhere in Europe. We had a huge match in Italy. A Milan derby.
Yep.
I have never been so happy to have been wrong about predictions. It was a great match. I watched it very loudly in my home office. Inter 0, AC Milan 1, with a goal from Captain America Christian Pulisic. 54th minute. He was first to arrive on a rebound and buried the shot. Later in the match, Mike Maignan, the AC Milan goalkeeper, played incredibly well, including a penalty save. Hakan Çalhanoğlu did take the penalty. He's a former AC Milan player. He's not very well liked by the Milanistas. There's been several players over the years that have played for both. Very rare, though, that a player goes directly from one to the other, and he did that. Oddly enough, when he did that, I don't recall the year, but Inter Milan had just won the league. Çalhanoğlu left AC Milan to go to Inter, and the next year after he left, AC Milan won the league. Yeah. So, tough luck for him. I do believe he's won a league since then with Inter, but what a result. And that really, and also that was first against third in the Serie A table. So right now, as it stands, Roma under Gianpiero Gasperini in his first year at Roma leads the league with 27 points. Milan and Napoli joint second on 25. Inter and Bologna joint fourth on 24. Como, surprising squad under a former Arsenal player, Cesc Fabregas. Currently are in 6th place on 21.
They seem to be, I don't know much about them, but they've been rising in fame for some reason.
Como, yeah. Well,
I don't know why.
They struck gold rather with bringing in Cesc Fabregas. Mm-hmm. They were able a couple years ago to bring in a lot of aging but very good quality players. A lot of the theories behind that are just the quality of life living on Lake Como. Their stadium literally is like right next to the lake. It's a beautiful tourist destination. Mm-hmm. Very high quality of life, very high cost of living, but it's kind of offset by just the beauty of everything there. So I look forward to seeing, even as a Milan fan, I look forward to seeing Como under Fabregas continue to impress across the league and maybe in Europe. Wouldn't it be nice if Bournemouth makes it into Europe and their first match is at Como and I get to go and spend a few days at Lake Como? But that will do it for our European roundup for the week abroad. We'll be right back in a minute with 100 Miles to Home, all of our MLS and NWSL action. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back to A Soccer Fan Walks Into a Bar. I have Naz beside me here. I am Dave. We've already covered our week abroad across Europe. Now it is time for 100 Miles to Home.
Yes.
Our coverage of all things local professional soccer and 2 incredible matches on back-to-back days. The first one, Saturday evening, we had a special event live stream for the NWSL final with both Naz and a good friend of mine and Gotham supporter Erin. And on an 80th minute goal from Rose Lavelle, Gotham wins their second title in 3 years out in PayPal Park in San Jose. Perhaps the final match of Trinity Rodman's Washington Spirit career. We will kind of stay tuned and see how that transfer saga goes. She's being courted by multiple leagues in Europe, multiple leagues in the U.S. The NWSL is under a fairly strict salary cap, so the ability for her to earn her what most of the world feels she's worth here in the NWSL is going to be tested with this. There's been rumors of a kind of a quote-unquote Beckham rule coming into effect, or a designated player rule for the NWSL to be able to keep players of her ilk. But yeah, it was a very emotional match for her. Very emotional match, obviously, for Gotham as well, as they took the title, and they had their parade today in New York City, which is great.
Yeah. Speaking on Rodman, I do feel that I don't think she should have played. I feel like they kind of brought her on a little too soon.
She was very limited in her minutes.
She had a risk of further injuring herself,
Right.
which would then depreciate that value. You don't
Absolutely.
You want to make sure you're fully healthy. I understand why. Obviously, it's a final. You want to play in it. But those 10 minutes that she played, or 15, 20 minutes that she played, you could tell she wasn't
all there. And
then she hurt her back in the final minute of the game.
Yeah. So no, you've definitely hit something there.
Yeah.
But again, the competitive drive of someone like Trinity Rodman is not to be messed with, and I don't envy the training staff or the manager to try to tell her, hey, Trin, you're not playing today in the final. So. Kudos to our local squad, Gotham FC.
Taking it on the dark horses of the tournament.
The number 8 seed. They were the last seed to make the playoffs. They played the record-setting first-place team in Kansas City. In Kansas City, they beat them 2-1 in extra time. They beat Orlando in Orlando, and they beat Washington out west. So great season for them. And also congratulations to Washington Spirit on a great season and a great playoff run. And that's just the nature of sports. You can only have one champion. So kudos to both those squads. And I look forward to, another great season for Gotham coming up next year. I'm sure there'll be plenty of off-season moves for both teams, really, as we kind of see how the business of soccer takes over, in the off season.
Yeah, I mean, the thing I would like to see is the NWSL getting more promotion.
Yeah,
because you don't hear about it.
No,
and it kind of sucks because I don't know. I was talking with my coworker today, and I was like, oh, by the way, Gotham won the National Women's Soccer League. He's like, there's a women's soccer league, and I'm like, I had to explain.
To be fair, the MLS isn't much better than them in terms of
but
being
people
promoted.
know that there is a men's soccer league here.
Yeah. All right, well, speaking of MLS, we had conference semifinals all weekend. We actually do have one more conference semifinal to be played later this evening. That is San Diego FC and Minnesota. But Saturday was the other match out west. It was actually overlapping a little bit with the NWSL final. We all stayed up quite late to watch that. Vancouver was up 2-0. Let me see. Let me get the goals and the times. Sabi in the 39th and Laborda in the first minute of first half stoppage time to put Vancouver up 2-0 at half. And then Son Heung-min scored 2 goals in the 60th minute and a free kick in the 95th minute.
Well, actually,
right after the Tristan Blackman red card for Vancouver to bring things into extra time. And with the extra men, LAFC was hammering on the door, couldn't break down Vancouver's defense and get that elusive goal. Went to penalties. Son Heung-min hit the crossbar on the first penalty for LAFC, and Vancouver does go on behind Thomas Mueller. And
there was 2 misses. There was 2 misses. The third kicker for LAFC did sky it.
Yep.
So they did try to get back in The LAFC making a good stop, but just they were already 2 down.
Yeah.
There's nothing they could do.
So an incredible oh, jeez, I'm so tired. These long soccer weekends, man, they're getting to me now that I'm 40. Vancouver does advance. They will play the winner of this evening's match. And it will, I believe, depend on who advances. So if San Diego wins, they will host as the number 1 seed in the West. If Minnesota United wins, that match will be in Vancouver again. So, again, good job from them. Then we move back east. The first match of the doubleheader that was on yesterday, Cincinnati hosted as a number 2 seed, hosted number 3 Inter Miami, and I hate to say it, Inter Miami looks to be a team of destiny. Mascherano made a bold move and did not start Luis Suarez. There were lots of kind of pundits, talking about, is that a good idea? Is it a bad idea? It didn't matter. Messi and co. Won rampant 4-0. Lionel Messi with a goal and 3 assists. He's just taking over MLS with ease, it seems.
I mean, like you said, if they don't win, they're a failure. They have to win.
Yeah.
And I think the team knows it. I think the team's playing on all cylinders. I mean, there's really no. I don't know. It's weird. I don't see stopping them.
No, I listen. As an NYCFC fan, I've seen this team play in person multiple times. They are, when they're playing well, I mean, it's you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Inter Miami has scored 12 goals in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Lionel Messi has 6 goals and 6 assists.
They still have to win 2 more games.
He's literally had a hand in every single playoff goal.
They still have to play 2 more games.
No, I agree.
Anything could happen. I don't know. As much as people want, again, you can't just hand them.
I agree. That's playoff football. That's knockout football, and we'll talk about who they're going to play next.
Yep.
Because the second match of that doubleheader was NYCFC traveling to Supporters Shield winners Philadelphia Union. NYCFC was without leading goal scorer Alonso Martinez with a torn ACL. They were without pivotal defensive midfielder Andres Pereira with a broken leg. They were without the other pivotal defensive midfielder Aiden O'Neill with a yellow card accumulation, so he was suspended. All that plus traveling to the number 1 seed in the MLS, and a 27th minute goal from Maxi Morales was all that NYCFC needed to take the victory from the Union. It could have been more, although NYCFC had an absolute great game from the center backs, and Matt Freese was out of his mind.
For the first half of that game, they looked like it did not matter that those players were.
I agree.
Gustavo put in an absolutely amazing.
Raul Gustavo, center back alongside Thiago Martins. Yep.
But then comes the second half, and all of us are still wondering how there was no goal.
It was like the field was a slope.
Yeah.
New
York City could not get it out of their half. And anytime they did, it immediately went right back to Philly.
And it's funny, Naz and I were watching the match live right on here on Twitch, and we were essentially screaming for Pascal Janssen to make subs and make some changes, to do something to change up this match.
He made 2 subs all game.
And it's funny, though, looking on, some of the social media, posts and everything for, NYCFC, and everyone else seemed to love it. I don't understand. I think Pascal Janssen is a great manager. I think he's done incredibly well with this squad this year. I think he got it wrong yesterday, but at least I shouldn't say. I think he got the second half wrong.
Yeah.
And they scraped by. Obviously the injury to Andre Blake. I have not seen or heard any news from that. Not that mattered at that point. It was already 1-0. So the only thing that matters in the sense of
it also didn't matter because it didn't matter because NYCFC didn't have to put any pressure on Rick.
Right. He did make a couple good saves, but I agree. I think where it may have mattered was that's one of your 5 subs now, and you could have brought someone else on potentially, but no, I agree that it wasn't consequential to the match.
And again, Janssen, I understand people love it, but then somebody injures themselves, now it's automatically why did you sub him? Why did you sub him?
You could also say people may have loved it based on the result. If they lose that game, if they wind up losing that match 2-1 or 1-1 and it goes to penalties and lose, does everyone feel the same about Pascal Janssen? So, like I said,
it's flip floppy again.
Right. So with that win, NYCFC on Saturday will travel to Fort Lauderdale to play at Chase Stadium and Inter Miami. I was very, you guys know firsthand, I was very pessimistic about this matchup against Philly. I am just as, if not more, pessimistic about their chances going down to Miami. But like we've said with LAFC in Vancouver, like we said with Miami, Cincinnati, like we said with NYCFC Philly, that's why you play these playoff matches. Yeah. You never know what could happen, and that will be could be a classic in terms of just teams that want to attack versus teams that want to defend, and it's going to take something special from Janssen and NYCFC to keep Miami contained in the slightest bit. I mean, it's just incredible what that Miami team is capable of offensively. Yeah. Defensively, for them, it's another story. So I do think there's goals in it potentially for both sides.
I mean, they kept a clean sheet in the last one.
They did. They
against the East's top leading.
They did seem to get something right with the way Mascherano's got them going right now. Consistency defensively might be an issue for them, so we'll see how that shakes out. But that is going to be a very good match to watch. I look forward to watching it, whether it's here or upstairs or elsewhere in the in the greater Hudson Valley area. All right, so let's take let's roll right through it. What's on tap? Our weekly kind of look at all the matches for the week. Some will be upstairs in the tap room as live parties. Yeah, some will be broadcast on Twitch. Some are just other good matches that we think you guys should kind of be keying on.
Now we're officially back from the break.
Yes. Now
now you have break, but Monday through Sunday.
It's a Champions League week. Obviously, with Thanksgiving, we have a little bit of a truncated schedule here, at least for the Americans. So this evening, Monday, November 24th at 10 p.m., San Diego FC will be hosting Minnesota United in the last of the 4 conference semifinals. Tuesday, we will have a Champions League doubleheader live on Twitch here. 12:45, we'll be showing Ajax Benfica. And then at 3 p.m., we will be showing, or we won't be showing, we will be commentating on Chelsea against Barcelona. Mm-hmm. Other games of note in that 3 o'clock window, Dortmund hosting Villarreal. Dortmund, kind of struggling a bit back and forth here, with results. So that will be a match that they look to really kind of cement themselves as a knockout team in the Champions League. Wednesday, the night before Thanksgiving, one of the busiest nights of the year for bars and restaurants. We will have live upstairs in the tap room at 3 p.m. Arsenal hosting Bayern Munich. I just saw this morning that Munich will be without Luis Diaz. He's been given a 3-match suspension from UEFA for his horror tackle on Ashraf Hakimi of PSG. And speaking of PSG, they also play Tottenham at 3 p.m., so that'll be another good one to see if you're not into the Arsenal-Bayern Munich match.
It'll be pretty interesting because when the Arsenal team came out in their game, the Tottenham fans were yelling, "Oh, champions of Europe!" And it's like, well, you're now going to be playing the champions of Europe.
Yes.
So I don't want to hear you chanting that.
Right. So we'll see how. Maybe I'll get the second TV up and we'll watch both here in the tap room. Again, no live watching for us Thursday, Friday. We'll be doing Thanksgiving, Black Friday things. Speaking of which, the brewery is open at noon on Friday.
Yes.
So if you're looking for something to do, after stuffing yourself with turkey, ham, stuffing, mashed potatoes, the whole nine.
Or after a round of shopping.
Yeah.
Right? Because Deanna will be out there at 6 a.m.
I do it all online now.
The deals are already happening now.
Yeah, exactly. And
I'm that type of person where like I'll look at things before they go on sale.
Right.
And then I'll be like, you do realize that that's what it was last week, right?
Right. So what I do, I'll do most of my browsing, starting the beginning of November, knowing, okay, got Black Friday coming up. Let me just keep an eye on these price-wise, and I'll see what happens. Otherwise, I'll just get them at a later date.
Yeah.
All right, so in for the weekend, we have some Premier League action. 2 10 o'clock watch parties for our supporters clubs. Sunderland hosting Bournemouth. That is a match where we have two teams right neck and neck in the table. Let me...
Yeah, I mean, we're getting a lot of these like 1-2s and middle tables only because there's just so much change going on. Like, there's no top of the table versus bottom table, top of the table versus top table, because they're just constantly changing.
So Sunderland and Bournemouth both level on 19 points. They sit 7th and 8th in the table. Also at 10 a.m., Manchester City and the Hudson Valley Citizens host Leeds United. So third place Man City against 18th place Leeds. You would think that that's an easy result for Man City, but again, they've been very unpredictable this year. Sometimes they'll blow the doors off teams. Sometimes they will struggle to find anything. Fun fact, Erling Haaland was actually born in Leeds, I believe. His father, I think, played for Leeds at the time. So let me just... Now it's going to bother me if I don't fact check myself here. Yeah, he was born in Leeds. So fun little match for him. It'll be interesting to see when they go to Ellen Road if he gets any kind of reception.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so.
Following that, Saturday evening, 6 p.m., we are back to American soccer. Inter Miami hosting NYCFC in the Eastern Conference Final. The winner will be playing in the MLS Cup. Miami has not done so. NYCFC did win the title in 2021. They traveled to Portland to do that. So that will be, again, a match with plenty of fireworks, for both teams and both fan bases. Sunday morning, an odd 9:05 kickoff time. I don't know if there's a rhyme or reason for that, but Nottingham Forest, who sit pretty far down on the table these days, 16th place, will be hosting 6th place Brighton.
Yep.
I remember talking last week of how Brighton was struggling and on the bottom half of the table. But again, this is just a result of the middle of the table being so tight. They are also on 19 points and in 6th place. I have not heard anything to see if Matoma will be back. He's now missed, I think, the last 6 or 7 matches for Brighton across all competitions. And then, as it seems to happen every single week, the marquee match of the weekend is your Gunners. They travel to Chelsea in another London derby.
Yep.
This is, like we said before, first place against second place. But a win here for Arsenal could open up a 9-point lead.
Correct.
Depending on the result with Man City as well.
And again, this is where Arsenal again should not care about any other team in this cup except for themselves.
You said that the other day, and
I look at the remaining fixtures. Again, we have we have Bayern Munich, followed by Chelsea, and then after it's almost like Arsenal can kind of take a breather.
I was going to say, let's see who they have.
Unless somehow Brentford jumps another, 7 spaces. Yeah, they have Brentford and Villa. So they still have top of the table.
Club Brugge, Wolves, who, again, no game is a gimme.
But I mean, look, like right outside of Brentford, you have Villa, who's in 4th. You have Palace, who's in 5th. Right, it's just amazing. Like every time Arsenal has to play a team, they're in the top half of the table.
Right. Yeah, you make a good point.
It's kind of funny when you think about it.
Start rising among the table
until they have to get knock on wood, until they got to get knocked down by Arsenal.
Arsenal. Yes. All right, that does it for our What's on Tap segment. One for the road. Do you have any news and notes that didn't fit into our normal?
Yes, as you guys always know, I follow the Greek Super League.
Yes.
AEK did win.
Red Black, what's going on?
Yo, welcome back.
Red Black, thank you so much for that flyer translation. That will be part of my one for the road. But Nas, go on with the Greek Super League.
Just again, Greek Super League. AEK beat Aris 1-0 over the weekend. However, both teams above them in PAOK and Olympiacos did win as well, so they are still sitting third place in the Super League.
So I have two for the road here. You must have heard it. Well, if you've been listening the last couple of weeks, we will be doing on December 5th.
Yes.
Starting at 10 a.m., we will be opening up at the brewery for a World Cup draw party.
Yep. Local radio station.
Yep, we have a local radio station coming in to do a live show. We will be raffling off 2 official World Cup soccer balls. I just received word that we'll be getting 4 tickets donated for the Delta Suite for an NYCFC match to the match of your choice.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That does exclude Inter Miami. That excludes Red Bull, and added to that list,
not the match of your choice.
Yeah, not the quote unquote marquee matches, and that also now includes for next year LAFC. Because of Son Heung mania. I just made that up.
I love it. They're like, you can go to any match except for any in conference, any big name.
Last year.
Let me go
totally
see them play
the Red Bull match and Miami.
Let me go see them play the senior nursing home down the road.
I get it with LAFC, but I'm not happy about it. But also you have the fact that we don't play LAFC every year. So there's that kind of aspect of it as well. But thanks again to NYCFC for that very generous donation to our event. My other for the road, more on-field related, Columbus Crew manager Wilfred Nancy, an MLS Cup winner, is close to a deal to take over at Celtic FC. This could be, I think Nancy is an incredible manager. I love his style of play. I think this could potentially be a watershed moment for the MLS on the management side. Very few managers have gone from MLS to Europe and succeeded. I don't want to say Celtic is an easy job because it's far from easy, but
in all
when
honesty,
you have the budget and history that Celtic has, it makes it much easier.
Yeah, but again, gone are the days that Celtic and Rangers are as dangerous as they used to be.
Right. Actually, I think we looked at this a couple weeks ago when both Rangers and
what was that, Hearts or something?
Rangers and Celtic had fired their manager. They are. Let's see. Yeah, Heart of Midlothian is currently in first on 30 points. Celtic
in
second on 26. And then Hibs, also owned by Bill Foley, and Rangers joint third on 21. So that is going to be a very interesting potential hire. I, for one, as an MLS fan and fan of, although he is French, a fan of American coaches, making that jump abroad. I'm sure there will be many MLS eyes on that because if he does well, that could be the start of a launching pad for American and MLS managers to get to that higher level. Okay. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head, although it wasn't directly from, I don't believe it was directly from the MLS. Bob Bradley was at Swansea and he only lasted, maybe a month or so. Yeah. But I'm trying to think that he may have come directly from the U.S. national team at that point. So it's not apples to apples with what Wilfred Nancy is doing. Yeah. Anything else?
I think that was great.
That was a well-rounded, very efficient show. When we don't have our Colombian friend Diego on the other side of the couch here with you. Just so you know, Diego is upstairs. And if you're local and watching this live, we have former New York Knicks Latrell Sprewell and Chris Smith are in the house. Signing autographs. We'll be watching the Nets and Knicks play this evening.
Yep.
So really cool event that we're doing with BG Entertainment. So yeah, if you're local and you're hearing this live, come on down, up, over, whatever direction the brewery is in for you, and come check out the event. That will do it for us this week. We will see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Well, me at least. You'll be.
I have a Warhammer game after work. Yeah.
Very nice. So I will be here on Twitch for our doubleheader of Champions League action. Hopefully with Diego as well. But give us a follow here, like, subscribe, YouTube, Instagram, Discord. Get into our Discord. Red Black is one of our newer members in the Discord. Thank you for joining us as well. We have our website that's being built out, www.cdunewburgh.com, and any inquiries or watch party requests, just throw us an email, cdunewburgh@gmail.com. And thank you guys again for watching, for listening, for taking some time out of your day. Thank you, Red Black, for jumping in chat as well. And that's going to do it for us. We'll see you tomorrow or later in the week for Saturday morning's pour over. Cheers and have a good one, guys.
Have a good night.